John Northey were all the inspiration Brisbane needed to make the first serious charge at a flag in the club's 10-year history. From the moment the Bears thrashed Footscray at the Gabba in round one, the club's intentions were clear. Spearhead Alistair Lynch was finally back from a year of battling chronic fatigue syndrome, even if he was only playing in bursts, and he was kicking steady bags of goals. Roger Merritt had become a dangerous interchange specialist, holding back the years just one more time. And Matthew Clark was establishing himself as possibly the league's most dangerous ruckman, dominating the air and giving first use of the ball to outstanding players like Michael Voss, Adrian Fletcher and Craig Lambert. Up forward, the freakish Darryl White and the enthusiastic Justin Levish provided solid support for Merritt and Lynch, while Richard Champion was starring in defence. It didn't take long for word to get around. Huge crowds were flooding the Gabba even before the Bears won 5 straight games from round 4. The biggest Australian rules crowd in Brisbane since 1952 turned out for the round 3 game against Richmond, and it was one of the games of the year, even if the Bears lost narrowly. On the road, Brisbane was proving it was the real deal as well. It convincingly won both games in Perth, drew with Geelong at Kardinia Park, and finally started to win on a regular basis in Melbourne, outpointing Richmond and North at Optus Oval, after breaking through for its first Melbourne win in almost 2 years against Footscray in the Whitten Oval mud. The Bears had a mid-season lapse, dropping games to St Kilda and Adelaide in rounds 13 and 14, but then stormed home to earn a qualifying final at the Gabba with the last kick winner, the Fremantle. In the opening final, another packed Gabba crowd saw Essendon fall by a single point in a classic contest after a Gavin Wanganeen shot hit the post in the dying seconds. When the Bears beat Carlton in the semi-finals by 97 points, the prospect of the Premiership Cup travelling way north appeared more than likely. But North ended the Brisbane dream in ruthless fashion, all but squashing the Bears' challenge within a quarter in the preliminary final. Even so, the Bears are young, fast and hungry. They'll be hard to beat next year, not least because they're set to become the Brisbane Lions, adding the best of Fitzroy's players to their already imposing list.
How's that going to work for them, Malcolm?
Well, I've just had the theory that you've got to be careful if you put 8 new players in the side. I'm not saying that would happen, that they've had a terrific mix this year. And I just wonder if you put too many in, you just might destabilise that wonderful thing they've got going.
True, except I can only see 3 automatic selections in Brisbane's best team: Malloy, Boyd and Johnson.
Yeah.
And the others, I mean, depth can't hurt you, can it?
No, true.
Very briefly, John Northey. His first chance, I think, really to win a premiership at a club. What's the time frame for him?
Well, you know, the urgency about coaching. I would think he'd certainly want to make a grand final in the next 2 years, and he would be secure for probably another 3 or 4 if he were to win a flag in that time.